To stand out as a candidate, you need to select a job target. It is very tempting for job seekers to try to be a Jack or Jackie of all trades, to present a general person to employers. But if you would like to stand out and to be a standout candidate, I implore you to identify a target for your job search. So, what do I mean by a job search target? So, I've made some notes on this. You want to identify the type of job that you want. When it comes to a job search, there are two things you need to keep in mind: the employer's perspective and your perspective as the seeker. You want to identify what the employer wants from the role, and you want to identify what you want from that job. So when you think about what the employer wants from the role, the employer is looking for a particular set of knowledge, skills, and ability to achieve a particular goal. When you identify a specific job search target, it becomes easier for you to position yourself as the answer to that employer's quest for someone to fill that role. You're the person that can do the things the role requires. It's easier to be more focused and targeted when you have selected a target for your job search. It is much easier to be the person that can be identified as that solution when you have taken the time to research that role, when you have taken the time to research how you fit into that role, when you think about that job description. And this is why reading job descriptions are very important, and doing the research into the role is equally important, because when you can identify what that role requires, it becomes easier for you to speak the lingo of the role. It becomes easier for you to present yourself as an insider when it comes to identifying the solutions to the problems that that employer may have and that role solves. So think about it carefully. Consider how you are showing up when you are looking for a job. It becomes confusing, if you will, when you try to present yourself as a general employee or someone who is not very specific in terms of what you can provide to the role. So you want to think about, how can I show up? How can I present myself as someone who is focused, someone who is targeted, someone who has the specific set of skills that this role requires? It is very easy for us to say, well, there's so many opportunities out there and I can do so many things. I'm just going to present myself as a general person. When you present yourself as a general person, you have to now stretch yourself thin, and this waters down the knowledge, skills, and abilities that you are showcasing. It waters down the value that you are bringing to the employer. So you really want to become focused and targeted in that regard. The other thing that you have to consider is that you're showing up as a commodity, right? You're not showing up as a special individual with a special set of skills to this employer. And when you show up as a commodity, your value decreases and your salary decreases. And the benefits to you from this job also decreases. And you find yourself back in survival mode, barely thriving, when the reality is you would like to have a job where you're fulfilled and where you are thriving. So, tip for today: you must target your job search, focus your documents. Your resume should have a focus at all times. It should have a target. And if your targets are really far apart, then I invite you to have very different documents being presented. And this is where your LinkedIn profile gets tricky, because your LinkedIn profile is on 24/7 and employers are coming to a conclusion about you without you having much of a say, right? So this is where you really have to think about, how am I presenting myself to the world? How am I presenting myself to the people who need to know who I am and what I can do within this role? So that's it for today. Oh, if you would like to have your LinkedIn profile or your resume reviewed, click the link in bio for those of you on Instagram. For those of you on Facebook and on YouTube, I will put the link in the chat, and you guys can click on the link there, or the link is in all the bios. Take advantage of this free resume review or LinkedIn profile review. It's not going to last much longer. So take advantage of it now, and let's get targeted, let's get focused, and make 2024 your year of more. Have a great evening.